Hi, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the SoCal Prep Report. Richard Stray here, along with Bob Gibson, and we're coming to you from the Grand in Long Beach. You haven't been to the Grand? It's a pretty nice place. What is it, a media center here, Bob?
Yeah, media center. It's a conference center, and all kinds of great stuff happening. Every year we are here covering the C.I.F. championship game.
And it's a restaurant because we just ate, and we ate a lot. I think Randy's still out there eating with Sondheimer.
Randy's
out
taking
there.
a nap before we get him on here for the city section reports.
He'll be up here in a minute. All right, real quick, let's take a look. It's a lot of stuff here. We're at the Grand because it's the C.I.F. Southern Section Luncheon, football luncheon. They have this every year. This is the 43rd edition. Bob, I think I've only missed only 7 of these or something like that.
Yeah. We've all been here longer than
we want to admit.
Right. I think we're covering kids that we covered years ago now. So that's how long we've all been here.
All right, let's go to the scoreboard now and let's take a look. Let's go to Division I where they had the game. Well, not quite the game of the year. It's creating the 5th game of the year this year, game of the century. Take a look at St. John Bosco in the upper bracket. St. John Bosco took care of Oaks Christian 56-10, Bob. We kind of figured that would happen. Yeah. Modern Day in the lower bracket defeats Corona Centennial 48-14. Now, that Centennial game was weird because Centennial came out and basically scores a touchdown on like the 4th play of the game. It was like a 60-yard run, and the officials blew the whistle on a live ball, Bob.
Right? It was a great play fake, and the quarterback kept it. He went in, and they blew the whistle. Why? Why are you blowing whistles?
Unbelievable.
Unreal. Coach Matt Logan cannot be happy with that at all. You could see his reaction on the sidelines.
Hard to recover from that.
Yeah, that was tough.
And that's setting up Bosco Mater Dei once again. They met in the Trinity League earlier this year. Mater Dei was ranked number 1 in the country, Bosco number 2, or it could have been transposed because some teams were saying Bosco was number 1 all along. And, of course, they proved it. Now they will meet again. The winner, again, will probably flip-flop as the number 1 team in the country because, let's face it, Bosco and Mater Dei have played top 100 teams out of the state. I think Mater Dei played like 5 top 10 teams this year in the country.
Well, this will be from the national championship. It really will because, Bosco's undefeated. If they win, they're the national champions. I think if Mater Dei wins, I think they are the national champions, Bob, despite having 2 official losses
but Bob,
on their record.
Be very careful, Bob. You're treading right now because we know you're the kiss of death. So don't be saying Mater Dei is going to win or Bosco's going to win because you're going to ruin their dream.
One of these teams has got to win the game.
All right.
So I can't ruin it for both of them. But I think even with 2 losses, Mater Dei, because they would have a win over Bosco now, avenge that loss, and the win over IMG earlier this season. I think that gives Mater Dei another national championship if they win this game.
I think so.
I don't know. We'll see.
No, I agree with you.
You're right.
That'll be the progression. That'll be the protocol that they should leapfrog because the only other team that really can contend, so everybody thinks, is Allen, Texas. Allen played nobody in the top 100 in the country. Matter of fact, they didn't even leave the state this year, so you cannot crown them champions. We don't know how good they are or how bad they are.
No, but we know how good Bosco and Mater Dei are.
Absolutely, man.
That we do know.
Bishop Gorman, IMG Academy, Corona Centennial. I mean, they played the lot of them.
Those are top national teams. Mater Dei has beaten everybody but Bosco. And the loss earlier in the season, of course, to Bishop Amat. That's because of a forfeit. We're not even thinking about that one right now.
All right, let's continue on now. Let's go to Division II and have a look around there and see. It was a Rancho Verde victory, 42-38 over Notre Dame. They beat Almany last week, so they took care of, I believe, was that the Mission League up there or whatever it is? And then Upland over Calabasas, 30-21. Man, we got to talk to Salter about this one because, they had 1 loss on their season. It was a big one to Mission Viejo, who lost 5 games. Come on, man. But, hey, you know what? They righted their ship. They are in the finals, Bob.
Upland's a great program. Every year, glad to see them back in the final because you're right. That could have been a crushing loss against Mission Viejo. They really got beat up in that game. That was a very good Mission Viejo team, but Upland fought their way back. Now they get to the finals. Mission Viejo's sitting at home, right? They didn't get through Division I. They're going to watch this one on TV. Upland gets to play, for a championship. And
Bob, who's favored in this one, Bob?
I think Rancho Verde just because of the top seed, right?
6-point favorite per Vegas.
But I still like Upland in this game.
All right. Well, you would.
They're the hot team coming in. They're hot.
Yeah, you would. I agree with you. You get the upset, Bob. All right. And we're going to Division III now. Cajon 46, Capo Valley 42. No shocker there. Sierra Canyon 27-3 over Citrus Hill of Paris, setting up a Sierra Canyon at Cajon. You got 1 team from the Valley. You got 1 team deep in like San Bernardino County somewhere. Right. I mean, it's 1,000 miles just to play this game up and back. So Be interesting, Bob. I don't know what's going to
happen
happen
here.
here.
Sierra Canyon won a state title, and they're going to go for another CIF title and maybe even a state title again here if they can get through this.
Cajon's a 3-point favorite. That's in Atlantic City, Bob.
Oh, well.
Just so you know.
Hey.
I had to dig for that one.
3 points.
Yeah, you got it.
All
right. In Division 4 was Corona Del Mar 49, Camarillo 17. Grace Brethren 41-31 over Villa Park, man. Bob, what is up with Grace Brethren?
Grace Brethren, they fell way behind in this game, right? Villa Park thought they were cruising. Grace Brethren just started chipping back, and got the touchdown at the end of the game to get into this one. Boy, I tell you, Corona Del Mar has been the top team here all season long, and I said nobody would even touch them, but Grace Brethren, just by the fact that they are so hot, man, they're just feeling it right now. So I give this one a coin toss right now.
Corona Del Mar is the favorite by 2 points, all right? That's a
Only
safety.
2.
2 point.
Only
That's
2.
right.
That tells you what you need to know right there.
Harrah's in Las Vegas right there, brother. Keep digging. All right, in Division 5, it's Palos Verdes 26-21 over Glendora. Lawndale defeated St. Paul of Santa Fe Springs. It's kind of not a fair fight. Like I told you before, St. Paul's got maybe 200 students in the whole school, Bob.
Right.
Lawndale's got about 5,000. It's about the same size high school you went to. I think that's your alma mater, Bob. But anyways, Lawndale will be in the finals, and they will be taking on Palos Verdes, Bob. And Palos Verdes area did really good because Peninsula's in the finals too.
Right, exactly. No,
crazy.
That's become a really hotbed for football once again now.
These guys are always stealing each other's players, man, and they're both in the finals. There's plenty of room to go around out there in the Peninsula area.
We love it. We love
Palos Verdes Peninsula. Division 6, South Hills, the number 2 team in the No Love Club, 20-13 over Pacifica. Oxnard 29-7 over Serrano. Now, just so you know, Oxnard will be at South Hills at Covina District Stadium. Now, the only parallel here is Pacifica lost to Oxnard 24-14. So South Hills beats Pacifica by 7. Oxnard beat Pacifica by 10. So what's that mean? I don't know. It'll be a close game, though. That's all I can tell you.
South Hills has been the top team in this division all season long.
But it is Oxnard. They have to go. The championship in Division 6 goes through Oxnard, believe it or not. Huh? Who would have thought that?
Who would have thought that? You're right.
Somebody did. All right, Division 7. I'm sure the people at Oxnard and Pacifica thought it would go to there. Division 7, Culver City 40, Northview 14, and that's Northview of Covina. Bob, you picked them last week, and look what happened. Now they lost. They had the biggest loss they had in 16 years.
Oh, my God.
They lost by 36 points, man.
I don't know how you lose in the semis by 30
Because
points.
you picked them. Stop
I
it.
didn't
Stop
do
it.
I didn't. It wasn't
Kiss
my
of
fault.
death, Bob. Culver City
Will
be playing San Jacinto. Actually, Culver City's favored this one by 8 points, Bob.
This
8
is
point
Culver
favorite.
City should be a city section team. I don't know. Maybe
I thought
just
they
'cause
were.
of, you know.
Randy, did they?
Right.
They were
All
not
right, they're
annexed
not-
by
yeah,
the
no,
CIF.
Not in the city.
They're
All
a
right.
southern section team. But all right, good enough.
Got it from Randy, straight from the horse's mouth there. Division 8, Arcadia 62, Altaloma 28, Kaiser 51, Santa Ana 33. Well, if nothing else, Bob, this should be a high-scoring affair. They should bring the
that.
basketball teams out. They probably
Right?
outscore the basketball teams.
62 and 51 for these teams
Yeah.
in their wins last week. So we'll see if what defense can hold on and make a difference here. Maybe.
Kaiser is 3-point favorite. That's what they're saying. All right. Division 9. San Gorgonio 40, Garden Grove 27, Brea 28, North Torrance 19,
Right.
San Gorgonio at Brea. They're saying San Gorgonio 3-pointer on this one, Bob.
That was the big upset right there. Brea Olinda, a basketball school for years, and now a football school, and they're beating North Torrance. That's a huge win for Brea. I like them and their confidence coming in here.
All right, Division 10. Highland 42, Bonita 27, Eisenhower 34-20 over El Rancho. I mean, Eisenhower's so huge, and El Rancho's just a little dinky school, man. But they held their own.
That's why you love these
Public
matchups.
schools.
That's why you love these matchups.
So now it's Highland at Eisenhower. So you got Highland up in Palmdale, Lancaster
Right.
area. That's about 1,000 miles from Eisenhower, which is out in the eastern part
Rialto,
of
right?
San Bernardino County, man. Are you kidding me? That's a long way to go, but I like the matchup.
That is a long way.
I love these matchups, all right? Division 11, it was Peninsula 28, Hemet 7, Western 35, Beaumont 34. That was a game, Bob. That was a game.
Right down to the end.
Peninsula at Western, and of course Western's favorite. I can't believe this. Western's been a doormat for a long time in their league, and now they're really up and running.
Yeah, no, that Western program, you're right. For a long time, kind of an afterthought in the area, and now playing for a title. It's fun to see when you see schools like Catella and Orange a year ago. Remember, we had those teams in there. Now we got Western in here playing for a CIF title. This is fun to see programs that have been dormant for a little while come back.
Oh, Doc Seviano, the head man over at Western, got his team in the finals. Gotta like that, man. I'll tell you right now. All right, Division 12 at Linfield Christian 57. Xavier Prep, Bob. That's your favorite. You said they were going to win CIF, but they're coming one game short. Artesia 48, Laguna Beach 6, man.
I had picked Laguna Beach in that game too, didn't I?
You certainly did.
Oh, well.
Kiss
I
of
guess
death,
that one went
kiss
up in
of death,
smoke.
man. That's this guy. Don't pick anybody today, Bob, all right?
I guess not. Nobody wants me to today.
All right, so both these teams can play. They can play defense. They both can score a lot. Going to be a nice game in that Division 12. Okay, and in the last game,
13.
Division 13, Adelanto. Randy called the game out there he was talking about. 54-40 over Almonte. These are great games, Bob. Almost 100 points put up in that game. Are you serious?
No shortage of offense this year in the C.I.F. Southern section.
Then Orange Vista. You know where Orange Vista is?
I was going to ask you that question.
It's in Paris.
Where is Orange
Paris,
Vista?
France.
Good.
All right, Southern California, Paris, right by the Whiteman Air Park where you get to skydive. They defeated Gary 55-8 again. Adelanto scored 54. Orange Vista scored 55. Adelanto at Orange Vista. Orange Vista is favored, Bob, 31-28.
All these scores are 50s and 6. Watch, every game this weekend will be 6-3, right?
It's going to be good. That's all I can tell you. It's going to be really good. All right, we're talking with Randy Rosenblum now, and of course, Randy Rosenblum's our city section guru, and Randy, another busy week, just like the southern section. Very busy week in the city.
Yeah, great storylines. Garfield and Roosevelt, that tremendous rivalry. They're both in championship games. Plus, we had the game of the decade, maybe the game of the century, Eagle Rock losing to Garfield in the semis of the Open Division 24-21. But I want to start with the 8-man, Rich, because Darius Orange and Animal Robinson is really getting it done. They've won 3 titles in 4 years. They go back-to-back. They put up 68 against Sherman Oaks CES. That's twice this year they went over 60 against this same school. They are the dominant program in the LA City section. They want to get to 11-man football, and they want to do it by next year.
Well, sounds like they're on their way, I'll tell you that.
They really are. And then let's talk about 11-man football, the Open Division. We mentioned the Garfield game. They were at Eagle Rock. They had to rally. They came from behind. They win the football game 24-21 at Eagle Rock. They were down 21-10. They got a touchdown from Nicholas Delgadillo late in the game to preserve the victory. Delgadillo is a tremendous defensive player, but he's a weapon on offense. So Garfield is undefeated. They'll take on Narbonne, which won by 40 at home over Birmingham. Although Birmingham had a nice passing game. They put up 23 points against Narbonne. That's not easy to do, but Narbonne, for the second week in a row, over 60. They scored 63 in the opening round against Venice. They scored 67. So that's our Open Division game. I don't give Garfield a whole lot of an opportunity here. Narbonne's just too good. But Garfield, by beating Eagle Rock, is already going to go to a state regional bowl.
Well, obviously, maybe they're not going to have to check the tape this week to see if there's any fights, any suspensions, because that did affect some of the playoffs this year.
It did.
That's Garfield's best hope right now.
Yeah, I think it is. It affected Carson and Westchester. That's a couple of the reasons those two schools aren't around anymore. Let's move ahead and talk about D1 because we have a great matchup in Dorsey and San Pedro. Dorsey got by a very good Fairfax team. Keyshawn Johnson, we've heard that name at Dorsey before. Well, this Keyshawn Johnson scored 2 touchdowns, igniting the Dons. They were in the D1 final last year, and they lost to San Fernando. This year, they get a very solid football team in San Pedro out of the Marine League, which knocked out Southgate. Southgate was the number 10 seed. Was fortunate enough, Southgate was the team that played Westchester when they didn't have their players because of suspension, so they were able to move all the way to the semis. But at San Pedro and Dorsey, that sets up a wonderful D1 game. In Division 2, Roosevelt, after knocking off a good Canoga Park team 17-14, the Rough Riders with a real good running game. They're in the championship game against Locke, who stunned top-ranked Franklin at Franklin 26-14. That's probably the biggest surprise in the city section so far in the tournament. And in Division 3, Santee is the big favorite. They hammered Manual Arts in the semifinals. They'll play Fremont, which knocked off Chatsworth. Santee is just a tremendous football team. Todd is a wonderful running back, and they figure to handle that game with relative ease, and Santee figures to be the champions in D3.
Randy, I think the biggest surprise to me is the fact that Garfield is in the Open Division final. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, that's a valid point. And you got to credit Lorenzo Hernandez, their coach. He's done it over the years by scheduling up. He played a lot of Southern Section schools over the years, got beat. He kind of brought the schedule down just a tad this year, and he's won every game he's been in. He's run the table. So I credit Lorenzo Hernandez for playing against the top teams, getting his teams prepared in the Eastern League, and now they finally advance. It's a great tribute to his program. I do want to throw in a basketball note here. Fairfax won the Rice-Williams tournament. That's a major breakthrough. Fairfax is going to have a national power this year. They have a guard by the name of Ethan Anderson who's already committed to UNLV, 6'1" point. He had 28 points in the final game, it was a victory over Bishop Montgomery. We know how good that program is out of the southern section. They won 64-56 in the finals. Anderson was great. And one other note in the city in volleyball, I want to throw out some nice kudos to El Camino Real. They didn't win the state championship, but they're the first city team to get to the state finals. They did it in D5 since Palisades got there in 1979. El Camino lost to Washington Union of Fresno in 3 sets. Alyssa Lee does a wonderful job with that El Camino program. El Camino didn't do great in the West Valley, but once they got into the tournament and once they got into the state tournament, they went all the way to the final. So great credit to that Woodland Hills school.
El Camino's actually turning the corner as a school, getting into all these things. I mean, it wasn't, but what, 4 years ago, Johnny Parada became the first wrestler in the city section to win a state championship. It's been over 100 years. And he was the first one to win, and now you got the girls volleyball team advancing to a championship round and so forth and so on. So things are looking pretty good.
Yeah, and their football team has been solid. Even this year, they didn't go far in the playoffs, but the El Camino football team has been solid. Their soccer program for both the boys and the girls is the best in the LA City section. Their boys basketball team, even though they're in a very tough West Valley League, and I talk about Westchester and Fairfax all the time, but El Camino's got a very good basketball team as well.
All right, Randy, great report. We appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break in the action. We come back, we're going to drag some of these coaches out here, right out here to the hot seat patio,
They're going to get the food. The chicken was brilliant,
the food's
by the way.
gone, man. We ate it all. We ate it all. All right, we'll be right back.
It's a beautiful day out here, sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it, let's go.
Visiting with head coach Josh Henderson of Grace Brethren. Coach, what a comeback to come back and from as far back as you guys were to come back in that second half and take out a great Villa Park team. But you got to be excited about what your kids were able to accomplish just a week ago.
It was absolutely incredible. I mean, the whole team, we felt truly alive. I mean, we were down 21. We had some unfortunate fumbles. They were a very good and very physical team. You know, just a lot of respect to them. But to come back and win and have the amount of guys make plays that was necessary for us to come back. Our quarterback went thrown in the first half. We come back, we complete some key passes. Nate Bennett, Lontrell Diggs is constantly doing it. Josh Henderson contributing to our defense. So, yeah, what a great night. Excited to be here. Unfortunately, we have to kind of put that one behind us, close the door, and move on because we have our hands full and then some, you know, right now with Corona Del Mar.
Yeah, I would imagine you let your kids celebrate that for a little bit.
Absolutely.
The night of, maybe that, Saturday a little bit. And
locker
then it's right
room, that night at the school, Saturday in film. That's a great night, hard one to get over, but we have to close that door. And, CDM's a very good football team. They've been playing at a high level for a long time. They're very well coached, and they have great football players. I mean, their receiving core looks like, a college basketball team. So they're going to be hard for us to compete with, but we're going to go for it.
It's funny. You're going to have to get through the heart of Orange County here to get a championship. Grace Brethren, maybe it's a team not everybody's really familiar with. A school, people may go, where's that school? Where
kind of surprising because we've been here 4 out of the past 5 years.
I know,
so
right?
you think some people would know who we are.
You would think that,
That's
right?
a lot of credit to our players and I mean, they've done a fantastic job for us. But with the new divisional setup, we were in Division 13 in a C.I.F championship in 2014. Here we are just a few years later in Division 4, and you know what? We're excited about it. Again, a lot of credit. I say that a little bit in jest, but really we've had a bunch of great kids working hard for us. We have an awesome administration. Our principal, John Hines, is here with us today. He's been incredibly supportive. Our captains are here. It's been an amazing journey, and it's not done yet. Our guys are still excited to play football.
Right, which was my point because here's a program that's been consistent now for a couple of years now on the map, and you've moved your way up divisions. Do you see your program now as that upper echelon kind of program that belongs with everybody in this room here?
haven't thought about belong in this room? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our boys have proven that time and time again. And I think coming out at halftime last week, we said, we just have to prove everything we've talked about, and they did that. And so I'm thankful to be a part of it. In terms of our program, we're just going to keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
That's what we say. Let's go out and do the same things every day. Keep every day being every day, and trying to represent Grace football and everything our school and program represents, with our Christian faith and doing things the way that we believe in doing them. And thank God we have a lot of talent on this team.
Yeah.
We have good boys, but they're also very talented young men. Some of the guys here, I wish I could bring them up right now, but a lot of credit to them.
I think we have the two most talented teams in the division here in this final, which is always good news. Coach, congratulations. Good luck in this final, and we'll
thank you very much, Coach, and thank you, Prep Report. Really appreciate being here. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're talking with Coach Don Olmstead from Artesia High School. And Coach, congratulations first off, getting into a C.I.F. finals. I can't remember when Artesia was ever in a finals.
Well, we haven't. Last week was our first semifinal game. We hosted, got the win obviously, and now we're here. We're excited. It's the schools. There's a buzz going around the school. Everybody's enjoying it, and we're happy to be here.
Now, going into the season, do you think you'd be here at this point in time?
I think every year you go in with that expectation. Every year you go in and say, this is our year, we can do it. More often than not, it doesn't happen that way. This year, just all the pieces came together. These kids were great. They played hard all year, and that's why we're here. It's because of them.
Your opponent this week is Linfield Christian. Tell us about them.
They're a great team. I mean, they've had huge wins all year. They put up points. They play defense real well. So we got our hands full.
So what do you guys do good? What is your deal? Offensively, defensively? You guys put up a lot of points.
Yeah.
One thing.
Yeah, offensively, we're pretty good. We can run the ball, throw it a little bit, and put up some points. Defensively, it all came together last week. We've been kind of doing some different things, moving on, seeing what would work. And last week, the kids just played well, and we finally put it all together.
So how do you approach this week? The school never having been here, how do you approach it?
Just going like it's a regular week. I mean, it's hard to kind of put more value on it, even though there is. But we have to go into it just like it's a normal game. We can't make it too big because then the kids get too high, too low.
Right.
So we're going to go through it and prepare just like we did the last 13 weeks and see if we can go out there and win a championship.
That's usually what the champions end up telling you after it's over, is that we just didn't do anything different the whole week. We just kept it the same.
Absolutely. And from our game day routine to how we practice this week, everything's going to be the same. It's worked for 13 weeks or so there's no reason to why there's no excuse for why it shouldn't work this week.
Well, Coach, it's been a winning formula for Artesia so far this season. Keep it together, and hopefully it'll work one more time this year.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach. Congratulations. Good luck to you guys.
Thank you very much.
And good luck to you guys, too, man. All right? Okay, now we're talking to one of our no-love clubbers, South Hills. We're talking with Coach Bechtel. And, Coach, first of all, congratulations getting to a C.I.F. championship finals once again.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
Maybe it's not your particular C.I.F. finals once again, but South Hills is known for football. They're known for wrestling. South Hills is known for a lot of things. So, first off, Coach, let's talk about your club this year. Going down your roster, not a ton of big Division I kids this year.
Yeah, we actually went into the season having to replace 15 starters. We knew we had some good kids in the program that were basically coming of age in terms of getting their opportunity. And I really see that, we got a bunch of kids that have bought in and they're committed to what we're doing. They've worked very hard. And I know it's a cliche in the coaching world about hard work paying off, but this team truly epitomizes what that means.
Absolutely. And again, over at your program, it's a known program up there in the San Gabriel Valley area in Covina. And you guys seem to just reload every year, though. I mean, you may not have the best Division I players, like you said, you don't get the Pac-10s or the SEC type players, but you guys do well. You guys do really well.
Yeah, South Hills has been a 5-time C.I.F. champion, the last one being in 2005. Had some great coaches there long before I ever arrived. And so there was a winning tradition. And my goal when we got there was to make the players there understand that. And so we've got it posted all over the weight room. We wanted the young men that are at South Hills to know that there was a lot of great football teams that have been there before them. And it was one of my goals to make sure they understood that they had a legacy and a tradition that we wanted to uphold and to bring back there. And with this particular group of kids, like I said to you earlier off air, they've bought into what we're doing, and there's an energy and there's a confidence and there's a love for one another that you see in our program that really sets us apart, I think, from the first 2 seasons that I was there.
Coach, I asked this to a lot of coaches. You go into the season, of course you have high hopes. Everybody's going to the Super Bowl, right? What did you think your team would finish here? Did you think you'd be here right now in the finals with this group?
You know, to be honest with you, you never know what's going to happen, because to get to the C.I.F championship, there's a lot of things. You know, injuries. Last year we were derailed. I felt real good about our team last year. We were the #1 seed in Division 7. We lost our starting quarterback and our starting tailback in the first 2 games, 38 touchdowns between them, and so that kind of really derailed our run last year. And so this year, man, I did a lot of praying to just stay healthy. And, you know, we had some key kids go down, and we didn't know what was going to come of it, but I'll tell you, we've had some guys step up. And like I said earlier, the difference between this team and last year's team really is that brotherhood, that true concern and love for one another. And I think it's allowed us to get over some of the adversity that we experienced at the end of the regular season.
Great camaraderie will overcome a lot, especially when you lack big-time talent. It'll help you get over the hump. They really do care about each other, and they'll go to the wall for one another. This last week, semifinals against Pacifica, you guys knocked them off of Oxnard. Now you have Oxnard. We were kidding earlier about the championship going through Oxnard,
yeah.
And you guys are going through it now. Tell us about your opponent.
Well, I mean, Oxnard Pacifica was just a very talented team with a very good coaching staff. Those guys came out and played a hard, tough battle with us. And now we got their league champion, who is every bit as good as them. They've got a veteran coach who does a great job. There's not a lot of holes on film, but we're excited about the opportunity. I have a great coaching staff. I have great kids, and we'll be ready to go. Our kids will be ready to go, and we understand what's at stake here. And like I said, we're excited, and we'll put our best foot forward, and hopefully we can bring another C.I.F championship back to South Hills High School.
What type of contrast between Pacifica and Oxnard? In other words, what's one team do maybe better or worse, or do they run the same things? What are you looking at here?
No, they're different. I think Pacifica's got a lot of guys that are quick, a lot of athletic kids that move around well. I think Oxnard does have some good athletes, but they're different, a little bit longer, a little bit taller skill guys. Defensively, they're much different. One team is an odd stack. The other team is kind of a multiple front. And so from a game standpoint, it's going to be a different game because the teams are different. But I think from a competitive standpoint, it's going to be a similar game. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. And really, in my opinion, it's going to come down to who's put in the work in the off-season, right? Because it's going to be a game decided in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it wasn't a big difference between Pacifica and Oxnard. It was like a 10-point difference in the game. And again, I think one of those touchdowns came late, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to be a good game, and you guys have your work cut out for you, but that's what it's all about, man.
No, absolutely, and this is the type of game you want to coach in. This type of game your players should want to play in, and we're excited.
All right. Well, congratulations getting to the finals, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you after the championship game, and you guys will have a trophy.
Awesome. That's the plan. Thank you, sir.
All right, Coach Bechtel. Coach Bechtel, South Hills High School, No Love Club member. Number 2 on that list.
All right, everybody's trying to hit the road as we're wrapping things up here, but we wanted to grab head coach Dan Davidson from Western High School. Coach, congratulations on getting to this championship game, and what a long bus ride out to Beaumont you had, but a nicer bus ride coming home when you got the victory.
Yes, it was an amazing ride, to say the least, but to actually be able to go out to Beaumont and still be in it was rewarding in itself. So we've had a great time. It's been a tremendous run.
11-2 record this year. Your league's different because it's split up into a couple of different divisions, and but you guys had a really good run this year. What do you attribute your kids' success this year?
I think it's commitment to what the entire year comes to pass. Going in the weight room, passing league every day, showing up to practice, doing all those things. So it's been a state of transition for us, but we were returning 18 starters. We knew we could maybe have a magical season, and commitment from the boys and the knowledge from Jacob Domino leading us on defense and Anthony Munoz having an amazing offensive year. Going to possibly break the Orange County record of touchdowns in the season is pretty special.
Obviously, you're living in the film room right about now, trying to catch up on your opponent. Just give us a little glimpse into what you're going to have to do to win this championship.
We're going to have to stop the run. Peninsula runs the ball. They're really big up front. They have 2 good running backs. They're going to try to pound it. They got some playmakers on the outside, so it's not like you can just load the box and get after it. We're going to do what we do. We execute. We go back and we attack what we see on film. And we're not a team that has to just throw vertical. We can do it with check downs. We have a really good running back in Rashawn Hester. He doesn't get the attention, but he has 1,700 all-purpose yards running. But what we do is, Anthony's thrown for over 4,000 yards and 50-some touchdowns. So we like to spread the ball around, and for us, some of those quick little bubbles and things like that's really an extended run.
Coach Davidson, we want to wish you luck in your championship game, and go get a championship.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, that's Western High School from the city of Anaheim, and that will wrap up the show, wrap up SoCal Prep Report for this week. See you next week.